All right, Lone Star Conference Football Media Day, I believe, is winding down now. I get a chance to visit with Greg Tepper from Dave Campbell's Texas Football, among other things, and he was the MC here today. And I just wanted to get your take on the day as we kind of get to decompress a little bit here.
Yeah, like the party's over, and then they've left us to pick up the mess. But no, it was a fantastic day, and you know it's going to be because the talent and the coaches here in the Lone Star Conference are so first class. Every year, like, I have to prepare for things and do my research and stuff. And what's great about my job is I have to kind of limit the number of questions. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I've got too much I want to ask you. We got to keep this thing kind of tight because I can talk to these guys forever. There's so many great storylines here in the Lone Star Conference, which is what makes today so much fun because everybody gets an opportunity to talk about it. Everybody's in a good mood. They're all undefeated, right? And so you get to talk about these teams and give them an opportunity to shine.
It's a lot of fun, and there are, even coaches who are first-year coaches at their programs, and we have a couple of them in conference right now. Definitely not first-year coaches by any means. They bring so much experience. Coach Park, Coach Hayes, and the stories that just behind where we are right now, they were telling stories that go back years and decades.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that, like, you look across the Lone Star Conference landscape, and I'm not sure that the conference coaching slate as a whole has ever been stronger. That's with all due respect to legends like Bill Maskell, right? But at the same time, you take a look at these guys, and even the ones who are like the new generation, like Chris McCullough at UT Permian Basin. Well, all he's ever done is win a share of a conference championship and then go to the Heritage Bowl the next year. Like, these young sides, this new generation of coaches in the Lone Star Conference have kind of elevated it to make it, I think, the deepest conference, at least as far as coaching talent is concerned, in the state. And you're right, these new coaches, they ain't new. Like, they've got experience. And Coach Hayes is a perfect example. They're at Sul Ross, taking over a program, in need of a jolt, trying to get back into trying to get kind of their sea legs underneath them in Division II. But he's been everywhere. He's got great experience at the FBS level. He knows ball, and so for him to be landed at a place like Sul Ross, and then you mentioned earlier the other young new coaches like Coach Parr. Those guys, they have been around the block. They have that kind of experience. And I think that's what makes the Lone Star Conference, I think, really fun and what's going to make it super competitive every single week.
And you even mentioned Coach Maskell, and you have somebody coming in to take over for him, and it wasn't like that it was someone new. I mean, Coach Renner's been there for nearly 2 decades anyway, so definitely it's tradition, and it continues on. When you now get to MC, and of course you've been to these things, had set up, done your show from here in the past, and of course now you have the suit on, so you're official right now. Talk about a little bit about what your day's been.
Yeah, my day's been a lot of fun, showing up, getting to shake hands with a lot of these coaches. Some of them I know, some of them I'm meeting for the first time. And then these student athletes, which, to shake their hands and you talk about, first-class people and first-class players. It's been a lot of fun. Then to get them up there and get them in the hot seat, get them a little uncomfortable, right? Which is great. That's where I thrive, is I'm making them a little bit uncomfortable, but they can get that good stuff out of them. And some of the questions that you want to ask them are like, yeah, tell me about the X's and O's. Tell me a little bit about, what's going to make your offense special. But also, it's like, let's talk about the leadership aspect of it. Let's talk a little bit about the culture, where your culture stands. With Coach Renner there at Midwestern, one of the questions I want to ask is like, okay, for you personally, like, what's this transition been like for you? What are you? I think I joked. I was like, do you ever walk into the wrong office, right? Those types of things, to get to know these guys a little bit better, gives you that color for the season. It's going to make it so much fun to follow these storylines. And of course, it helps that every one of these players knew what they were talking about. They are obviously stars on the field, but then you get a microphone in their hand, you realize, okay, these guys got some personality to them, and it makes for a fun day.
All right, so this is not really a day off for you because you're working here, but obviously you have a lot of other caps that you wear, hats that you wear, working with Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Talk a little bit about what you do there and promote your gig.
Yeah, so I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We've been around since 1960. I think people probably know who we are, but we cover football across the state of Texas. If you play football in Texas, we cover you. High school, college, et cetera, recruiting. But one of the things that I get to do is I kind of get to shape what we do editorially, what we cover, and how we cover it, and that's a lot of fun. You have the magazine, which people know us for. We got TexasFootball.com, and then we've got our streaming platform. We do tons and tons of video and live shows and stuff. just to cover football across the state of Texas. One of the things that's really fun about my job is we have yet to find the bottom of what people's appetite is for football in Texas. And guess what? I don't think we're going to find it.
When your magazine comes out, and I can tell you from experience, people line up and say, "Take my money, please."
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what's great. And think about a print magazine in 2025. Yeah. Like, we are thriving, we are growing, and it's because people in Texas love football and they trust us. You know, that's one of the things that we don't take for granted. I'm the second editor-in-chief in company history. Dave Campbell's the only other one. We made that transition back in March. To me, it is a huge honor, and also is a huge charge to keep, because Dave did the hard work. He laid the foundation. We just got to not screw it up. And that's kind of what we're trying to do there, and trying to grow and expand and meet people where they are in a new media landscape, you know, stuff like this, and make sure that we are getting the word out that, yeah, you know, we cover football, whether you're playing, you know, for the Texas Longhorns, or you're playing for, you know, the Pawnee Indians of Class 1A Division II. Like, we cover you in the state, and we take what you do seriously.
I appreciate that you know about the Pawnee Indians.
Yeah. They're the smallest. I don't know if it's a fun fact. The smallest UIL school in the state. 25 students there at the Pawnee Indians. Compare that to Allen, which has an enrollment of 6,957, I think it is. Like, you could fit literally hundreds and hundreds of Pawnee high schools instead of Allen. But it's fun. It you know, that's a great thing about my job, is that, like, there's storylines everywhere. We talk about all the storylines here in the Lone Star Conference. Covering the Big 12. We're also covering the SEC. We're also covering District 9-3A Division 2, which is going to have tons of storylines itself. So there's too much to cover, but that's what makes it fun, that we get to tell those stories.
Well, I appreciate that you tell those stories, and I've been one of those people that has given my money to get the print magazine as well. So I have no problem promoting what you're doing, and I appreciate what you have done already today. So, Greg Tepper, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, thank you very much for what you have done for the conference and for a media day here from McKinney ISD, the fantastic. Once again, host the Division II National Championship game. You want to sign us off here?
Yeah, and why don't we just plan on seeing, you know, one of these Lone Star Conference teams here in December for the D3 or D2 Championship. It'll be a lot of fun. So, appreciate you having me on.
All right. Lone Star Conference Football Media Day, I believe, now officially over, and I think people are actually now looking at us saying, "Please leave the building." So, yeah, we're gonna have to go.